steel glare. They scream fascist cause he's a rich billionaire. But tell me, where's his army? Where's his one-party decree? A man who's saving money ain't Gestapo to me. 1933 Berlin, the Reichstag burned. Blame deplorables, grab control, lessons aren't learned. When speech gets silenced and words get banned, ain't it funny who's holding the matches in hand? When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of Reich? He builds his cars, he mines the stars. No gulags for critics, no bureaucratic charge, no youth brigades chanting his name. Yet somehow he's taking all the blame. 1933 Berlin, the Reichstag burned. Bring up race, grab control, lessons aren't learned. When thought gets silenced and merit gets banned, ain't it funny who's holding the matches in hand? When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of right? National Socialist, funny that name. Yet markets and choice they always disdain. Control the press, rewrite the past. Cancel today for sins of the past. You say you're progressive, marching ahead, but history whispers you're painted in red. So call him a tyrant, call him a fraud, call him a villain, a tech demigod. But history's pen, when written true, will just be pointing its finger at you. Who's got the wrong kind of Reich? Who's got the wrong kind of Reich? History's pen, when written true, will just be pointing its finger at you.
You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important. Some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of Reich? He builds his cars, he mines the stars. No gulags for critics, no bureaucratic charge, no youth brigades chanting his name.
Well, aren't things a little bit different? Let's see what happens with the chat. Let's see if it works. And good morning. Whoa, excuse me. That's what I get for eating breakfast. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a great Friday. I need to get like where I belong, like over here someplace. There we go. Somebody type something in the chat. Make it pop up on the screen. Make this thing work, because if not, it is broke. You know what I need to do? Rah, rah, rah. Yeah, I'm not going to try and fix it. If it's broke, it's broke. There's nothing I can do about it right now. So, anywho, hopefully you guys like the intro. There you go. It looks like it is working. Love the music. There you go. So if you guys had noticed there, I'm working with the gentleman who makes those videos. I'm also working with another company, or it's another group of, like, one's an artist, the other is a musician. and they make very similar type videos. Some political, some patriotic, something like that. But I kind of got old. I started like hearing that song in my head over and over and over, like even when I'm sleeping, because unfortunately I'm a workaholic and I make sure all chat. There you go, all chat. Thank you very much, or live chat. There we go. Bada boom, bada boom. All right, so interesting start to yes, yes, definitely. The guy's got a very interesting view on things, but I've looked at almost all of his videos, and he's pretty much like American. He is very America focused, so I really liked it. McGurd, it's prepper time. What's up, Grumpy? Good to see you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and knock this out. That's enough without the new format. Also, you may notice things are cleaned up a little bit here on the screen. Kind of getting away from the whole gaming stuff. I've still got to work to get rid of the transition screens, but that will be work for another day. Either way, things are working, and that is what matters. Okay, so with that said, as usual, Rose Stoller, really early. First, Bradley Collins. Number 2, West Virginia Pappy. You are the turd. If you guys know this, give West Virginia Pappy all the turds he needs. There's an icon there for it. All right, let's see here. Looking at the rest of the chat, I got to scroll up a little bit. Kind of interesting, huh? Let's see here. Not a sponsors in the house. Got Deborah Channel. Deanna Cindy is over here. Bullseye Ben. Somebody is deleting his stuff. I don't know. Ian is in the house. We got Oops, Cuck V, Scanes Girl, Pork Tunes. Pork Tunes. I'm not familiar with it. Make sure you subscribe. If you've got something going on, let me know in the chat and we'll showcase your ass. We'll do it. Well, I'll do it, man. I'll do it. I'm glad you like the music, Ian. Let's see here. Tim showed up here. Rose, where are we at here? Cindy, Debbie, we did these. Deanna, Tim, Scanes. I'm looking for somebody new. Grumpy's in the house. Tucson Prepper showed up. There we go. Yeah, Cindy and Tim. Give him the turd. Give West Virginia Pappy the turd. Um, quick admin note. Last night's members only live Discord went extremely well, extremely well. Um, thoroughly enjoyed. We spent 2 hours chewing the fat. We played a game that wasn't so great, but it was interesting because the questions were just really hard. And then we ended up talking about lots of different things that affect our worlds, things that are personal to us. So if you're not part of that members only community, you might want to contemplate doing so. Not a joke. It's a good time, and the benefits are unbelievable. Link in the description. Shameless promotion. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click off here. And like I said, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently today. Keeping with the theme of world destruction, end of the world because Captain Red Try is doing tariffs. Blah, we're going to recession. Need some coffee. 7% want to join the protest crowd. Ah. Um, the bottom line is that we could find ourselves in a position where um, we are, well, there's bad actors all around us. There's people causing problems. You could literally just be coming home from the grocery store, turning left on Main Street, and in little town USA, and there could be a mass of people there. Not a joke. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't know. But the probability is that these people are moving further and further out, and that we need to, one, understand it, and two, prepare for it. So, with that said, I might be doing the two blue pill method today. My throat is kind of it's got a weird scratchy to it. I do have the backup. I do have the backup. I have one root beer barrel left, thanks to a great follower. It's good stuff, right? Sounds like false bravado and a poor choice to me. I don't know what you're talking about, Scanes girl. Anyway, let's see here. Flipping coin between first and second. Your lurk bullseye Ben is lurking. Okay, I got you, bro. All right, so let's go ahead and knock this out. Let's go ahead. Like I said, I've got a little bit different process today. I'm trying to make this thing just a little bit more my videos and my live streams a little bit more genuine and personal. So, with all that said, the first thing one should do when civil unrest begins. What is the list? peaceful protests don't always remain peaceful, and that is when civil unrest emerges. A movement intended for social change can shift rapidly into a deadly scenario, turning tranquil communities into chaotic battlegrounds where danger lurks around every corner. The unpredictable nature of civil unrest underscores why individuals should steer clear of such situations entirely. Who did that? Pure Alaska. It's going down, Broseph. I hate to say this, Pure Alaska. I'm sorry I don't really recognize you because you're not here very often, but I'm going to say that you the man. Everybody, make sure you give Pure Alaska a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Install push bumper brush guard on vehicles for protest. I've always wanted like a Mad Max. Yeah, he did it again. He did it again. Oh my God. Make sure you guys hit these. Ah, ah, ah. Someone really wants to see the hat. It's going to be early, and the t-shirt. I find your lack of ammo disturbing. I find your lack of ammo disturbing. Anywho, hopefully you guys like all that stuff. Anyway, getting back on point. Alternatively, if someone finds themselves, what in the high hell, what is going on here? We're at 4:05 already. Oh, you're killing me, man. You're absolutely killing me. I don't even know what to say. Uh, walk around Safari Grill. No walking around. And Cindy took it over the edge. Everybody give Cindy everybody make sure. Let's see. You, lady. Man, there we go. Okay, if you're just going to keep throwing cash at me, I'm going to accept it. Let me get the Grand Poobah hat. For those of you that have never seen it before, these crazy people in the chat have identified me as the Grand Poobah of prepping. Somebody actually uh, complained that said I have spent more time on presentation and less time on information. And my reply was, you clearly don't watch my streams. It's that easy. I may have to adjust my camera limit so you can see the whole thing. It's got 3 horns. There you go. My M1009 Tuck has the factory bush guard on it. Yeah, those things bend up though. I remember those things. We used to we used to we used to have to bend it back all the time. Get the torch out, and it sucked because you had to get the torch out. You had to warm the damn thing up and get 4 or 5 guys to pull on it to straighten it out, and then you had to wait for it to cool down, and then you had to metal brush it. You had to prime it, and then you had to paint it with green, and everything was spray paint. Everything was spray paint. Pure Alaska, love the hat. Well, this is what you're paying for, bro. Now I got to wear this shit for like 55 minutes. We have been poobah'd. Yay. You guys are the best. Anywho, we're gonna try and get back on point before somebody says that I'm just a giant showboater. All right, so alternatively, if someone finds themselves unintentionally entangled in civil upheaval, they must adopt a strategy of maintaining whoa, that's the wrong way. Got a new gadget I'm playing with. Maintaining a low profile, blending into their surroundings to become nearly invisible if involved. Now, this discussion explores practical tips and strategies that people can use to avoid or endure civil unrest. The full grasp of how one might survive such turmoil, it is necessary to first examine distinct strategies of social unrest as identified by sociologists, they're nutbags, sociologists, and law enforcement professionals. Now, sociologists and police recognize that civil unrest progress through specific phases. Each instance begins subtly in what is termed as the latent stage. During this period, tension simmers quietly beneath the surface, often unnoticed by the casual observer, though authorities and attentive citizens remain aware of its presence. All right. So before we get into the next phase, I'm going to go to the chat here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and go to the poll. We've already got 19 votes in the poll, guys. If you have not hit the thumbs up button, please do that because it's free and it helps me. All right, let's see here. So the question is, what's the first thing to do when civil unrest starts? 95% say that avoid high risk areas. Makes sense, right? We got 5% that say join the protest crowd. They want to intermingle with these people. 0% say fight back if attacked, and 0% say call the police for help. So with that said, let's see here. And obviously, guys, the way the poll works, you don't have to vote right now. We can catch you at the end. We can catch you at the end. If we go to the chat, looks like everybody's using all the members are using the member icons. I love it. Cindy, you went on overload with that. You just like, I'm just going to use them all. I'm from Ben's channel. I got you, Pure Alaska. Yeah, okay. Ben hangs out here all the time. He has a good little channel there. I like his channel. Let's see. My Ford with Safari grill has had African wild game roped to it. Well, that's nice. Okay. And good morning, Oops. Good to see you, bro. Let's see here. What else we got here? Uh, Vegan Cookie says invisibility cloak. And good morning to you, my friend. Let's see here. Ben Moose Hunting Collab 2027. Nice. Skates Girl said, I had a friend with an old SWAT van that he mounted an elk head to the front bumper. I do have to say, people moved out of the way during Mardi Gras. He did earn quite a few beads. They were probably like throwing him right onto the elk's head. Grumpy Acre says, in most places, the fiery, but in most places the fiery but mostly peaceful take you're talking about this is mostly peaceful protest with the fire going in the background where they burn down the McDonald's or something, but mostly peaceful protests take place. You will get charged if you fight back, especially if you have a social media history against the protesters. Yeah, they got your name, they got your ass. Let's see here. Bullseye Venice, I appreciate and love you out. There you go, bro. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the next phase. So the next phase, known as the sparks, occurs when a particular event disrupts the fragile balance of stability. You know, crowds then flood the streets to express their grievances, drawing a diverse mix of participants. Some seek peaceful dialogue, while others agitate for violence, joined by opportunist criminals eager to exploit the disorder for looting and personal gain. Now, depending on the response from authorities and community leaders, the situation may either calm down or intensify. If it escalates, the unrest reaches what is called the crisis point. At this juncture, lives and property face significant jeopardy, with the potential for widespread harm becoming all very real. Now, the scale of civil unrest can differ greatly. It might be confined to a small area or sprawling across a vast region of city sections. You know, the crisis point could last mere hours or stretch across days, depending on the circumstances driving the unrest and the effectiveness of efforts to restore the order. Now, understanding the causes, stages, and development of civil unrest is a critical step for anyone hoping to stay safe when caught in uncontrollable circumstances. Each phase demands a unique approach tailored to the specific risks and dynamics at play. Now, before we actually get into the details of these stages, guys, if you're new to the channel, the way this works is I talk about stuff, you write about stuff, I talk about the stuff that you wrote. That way it's actually a conversation. If you're just here to learn, I get it. If you're lurking, I get it too. Nobody's saying do that, but participation is required. Class is in session. All right, let's see here. I mean, McDonald's is bad for you. Yeah, I mean, well, you know, McDonald's is bad for you, so we're going to burn it down. Ian says the best bush guard I ever had was on a company truck, 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. There you go. Not a sponsor says, I need Demolition Ranch's 5-ton for city travel. Dude, you might want to go, you might want to contact him. It might be for sale. If you haven't heard, Demolition Ranch is no longer a thing. They have shut their doors. They don't exist. I think that they're going to go on to bigger and better things. Unfortunately, what it is they probably got a TV deal somewhere to do a show or whatever, and that show will have like one season, maybe two, and then it'll kind of, or maybe he just got tired of it. He did say I watched his final video, and he did say that he was just like I just want to relax. I'm just so tired of doing this stuff. So we'll see what happens. Let's see here. Dan says you're making this up. What am I making up, Dan? What exactly have I made up? I'm literally reading information based off of sociologists and police documentation on how things happen when you start to talk about riots. I'm not sure what I'm making up, but I'm interested. What about slow decay? Slow decay of what? Let's see here. Um, my bro. There we go. Let's see here. Dave says, yeah, pretty ambiguity. What is it? Can you write a sentence that's got like more than 4 words in it? West Virginia Pappy invest in marker and poster board stocks. Ah, that's hilarious. These days we have civil unrest already. Yes, we do, but it's all very controlled right now. We're not worried about that because that's actually, part of our constitutional values that we protest things. There's a huge thing between a protest and civil unrest. It's important to know the difference and to be able to identify them as well. Bullseye says, do you recommend hunkering down the first 72 hours after an event? It can't hurt. Rose says, Kent State was a prime example of outsiders brought in to support / enforce small local groups so their voice is more prominent in the cries. We're not really seeing that. We're actually seeing more of the larger, more well-funded organizations sending people to different places. It's very organized. The FBI is involved, unfortunately. Um, let's see. Not a sponsor says Demolition Ranch is retiring to be with his kids. I believe that. I remember hearing that too. I remember hearing that too. Militarist, good to see you, bro. And you got anti-government protest from Wave, the county flags, song anthems to riots. Yep, that's true. Let's see here. Tired of being rich, spoiled brat. Who who's tired of being a rich, spoiled brat? Because that is definitely not me. I've never been that. Let's see here. Not a sponsor says I will go to the office first sign of trouble. You know why? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's see here. Volunteering to be rich. Oh, you're volunteering. I'm gonna volunteer. I volunteer to be a rich, spoiled brat. Debbie says working but listening. Same here. R Springs to RB Springs to I don't know what that is. Paid protests, nothing new. I know, but we shouldn't accept that as the norm. Protests should be organic. They should be. There's nothing wrong with organization, but they should still be organic. Grumpy says, I remember when all the conservative rioted about Bud Light and trans indoctrination. Vegan cookies lunch plans. I just ate my lunch. I don't eat breakfast, and I had bacon and scrambled eggs with cheese, lightly salted and peppered. It was freaking delicious, totally delicious. All right, so I'm going to sip some coffee. I'm going to mm, just sip some hot coffee, hot. Are Timu products to be trusted? Depends on what they are. Depends on what they are. I wouldn't trust anything that your life might depend on. That is for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first one. The first one is what they call the latent stage. Now, during the latent stage, individuals should avoid areas prone to civil unrest. If entering such zones is unavoidable, um, there you must ensure that you have a clear escape route to leave before authorities or protesters block off access. Main roads are typically the first to be sealed, so people should seek out less traveled paths like back roads or service routes. When navigating these areas, they should avoid wearing anything that marks them as aligned with a perceived enemy, as this could draw unwanted attention or hostility. Now, with that said, this goes to the scenario that we was just talking about how um, you're just coming home from the store. You're wearing your MAGA hat, you're driving your mama's minivan, and you're just coming home from the store. And you make a left turn on the main street, and the whole thing's blocked off. There's people, and they're all around your car. So that's kind of like situational awareness. But it's people are like, oh, well, I don't pay attention to that stuff. No, I pay attention to that stuff because in these little small towns, and you should also probably know. And while I will not ever condone violence, you should know how your state feels about the use of your car as a weapon to defend yourself. You should know what those laws are. It's very important. Very important. Because I last time I checked, no protester has the ability to keep you from moving when you're surrounded by 2,000 pounds of glass, steel, and heavy duty plastic. So it's important to know these things. It's important to know these things. I'm going to go and check the chat real quick. I'm talking, not, I'm taking applications for wealthy grandparents. Bradley says paying for protesters is the same as lobbying, and I'm not a fan. Oh no, it's a freaking joke, man. It's a joke. Um, yeah, I literally just got so the live stream has been active for 24 minutes. I just got the notification. So we'll probably have people dropping in here shortly. Like, hey, what's going on, man? I just got the notification. Duh. You got to like set an alarm or something if you want to get here on time. If you want to hear the cool music up front, guys, you got to get here on time. Let's see here. Bradley just said something. What do we got here? Paid protesters. Depending on the product, Bullseye Ben, I like the PMG. Okay, you're talking gun stuff already. Rah. The militarist. Remember last summer in Washington, D.C.? Yeah, I do. It was a joke. The whole thing was a joke. Turret mount on roof opens paths. Only in foreign countries, and even then you can't shoot the civilians, so it doesn't really work. Um, Bradley says, I'm not broke. I'm fancy. So I'm broke. What's up, Batshit Crazy? Good to see you, man. Militarist says, I know which area in Pittsburgh stay away from civil unrest. Exactly. No, you got to know your areas, man. You got to know your areas. It's like if we have seen this before, but we're always able to stay away from it. Um, there were last year when the protests were really bad, there were protests up in Salisbury, which it's like if I want to go to like a shopping mall because I live in the middle of nowhere, that's where I got to go. I got to drive for like an hour, just to find some place. It's either that or go south to Virginia Beach. But anyway, I digress. But before going, like, pay attention to the news, like a lot. And I hate to say it, but kind of like a lot of these police departments are passing intel on their Facebook pages. Like, hey guys, we've heard of a protest. They're expected to be here, here, and here. They have a permit. You might want to stay away from the area until such time. We see it all the time. You just have to look for it. You have to pay attention. Let's see. God's prepared word. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Love the hat. Thank you very much, sirs. They paid $25, five super chats for me to wear this hat. That's the only time it comes out. You gotta if you want to play, you gotta pay. Yes, great man is the way to go. There you go. An armed society is a polite. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. I was actually in a situation yesterday. I was parked someplace, and there was a group of people that were moving around my car that I did not like, and I was not armed that day, and I was thinking to myself, at the minimum, I need to get my Bursa. I need to start carrying my Bursa at the minimum. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't want to kill nobody. It's not fun. I'm telling you right now, personal experience. It's not fun. But people need to understand that they can't push your buttons. They can't like try and force you to do some stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? So have a plan. Have a plan. I do highly recommend the Bursas. I'm going to be making the Bursa video tomorrow, and it's all going to be 100% indoors. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I have not seen an indoor video made for the Bursa yet, other than the ones the company makes, where they're like in some back room in their warehouse. Let's see here. Drive Tesla, then you can see civil unrest start already. What's up, Miko? Yeah, just drive a Tesla and you get to see civil unrest everywhere you go. Stray Kitten, A blend-in bag. That's interesting. A blend-in bag. What? So, oops. Or I'm sorry. Where are we at here? Whoever said that, I don't know if it was Oops or Stray Kitten who brought that up. What do you think would be in a blend-in bag? Okay, it doesn't gotta be crazy, but the purpose of it is so that you blend in. What would be in the blend-in bag? That inquiring minds want to know. Not a joke. Serious question. Bullseye Ben says Oklahoma crime went down once we became a constitutional carry state. Oh yes, exactly. There was arguments about this. There's actually a bill on the floor right now that is going to the floor. I don't know when because Congress has basically taken 3 frickin' weeks off now. Um, but there's a gun rights bill that's going to the floor that is going to be like getting that it will essentially make reciprocity legal in every state. So if you have a concealed carry in from North Carolina and you go to California, doesn't matter what the California laws are, there will be reciprocity. So it'll be federally mandated. So interesting. The blue hair wig. No, there's going to be. Oh, the that's what goes in the bag. The blue hair wig. I need to make a video like that. Oh my God. There's a civil unrest. Get get the unrest bag, and you pull it out, and it's like everybody puts on blue hair and like a rainbow T-shirt and like glitter on their face. Can, can we be part of this? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. The blue hair wig. Suburban Prepper, good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, folks, waiting on my next patient at work. In for a listen. Well, good for you. That's freaking awesome. The more, the merrier. Everybody, take a second to hit that thumbs up button if you have not done it yet. Let's see here. Grumpy, you like his name? I know, right? I love the crazy names, but I don't like when somebody has like 6 words in their profile. It's like I'm not saying all that crap. Let's see here. Done many videos on the 22 Magnum. It's a good. It's a more expensive shell than the 22s, and it's not super common, but it's still kick ass. Let's see here. Not a thought to keep a COVID mask. That says love is love for the blend in. There you go. Not a sponsor. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about, community, man. We eye to eye, eye to eye. There we go. Blue here and no, we don't need any nipple tassels. No one's gonna see that. You mean get the blend in bag? Gotcha. It's hilarious. That is hilarious. That's YouTube short worthy content. Stray Kitten. I'll be making that video as soon as I can. All right, so I'm gonna sip a little bit of coffee. I'm gonna talk a little smack, and I remind you that if you love your country, put a number 1 in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna drink some more coffee because we're halfway through the live stream. I'm gonna read you some educational content because we're an educational channel. And yeah, that's what we're going to do right now because the next phase is called the spark. The spark. Now, the spark marks the moment when unrest ignites into action. You know, for for those for those in areas with high latent tension, monitoring news source becomes essential. Platforms like X often provide real time updates faster than traditional outlets, giving people an early warning or of escalating events. Now, you should also stay alert for audible signs of trouble, like sirens, maybe helicopters, possibly gunshots, hopefully not, or the distant roar of chanting crowds, which often accompany protests. If someone suspects a spark has occurred and violence is imminent, swift action is crucial. The most perilous spots include the front lines of a protest, um, in the midst of like looters or the crossfire between the demonstrators and law enforcement. To avoid notice, individuals should employ gray man tactics. We were talking about this a second ago, dressing and behaving in ways that prevent them from standing out to either protesters or authorities. Hold on. Ugh, got that scratch in my throat. Protesters might mistake them for an opponent. They might mistake you for an opponent, while authorities could misidentify them as a rioter, potentially leading to violence or later legal repercussions if captured on camera. Facial what is it? Recognition, AI software, things like that. Interesting. I'm going to go to the chat here real quick here because we're getting ready to move on to the crisis point, and I have a special treat for you here in a second. Let's see here. Have your GMRS ham radio on you when, got to scroll that right back up there. When you are driving to help you avoid going where protests are. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that would work unless you actually have a network of people with GMRS or ham radios that are paying attention to those protests and tell you to stay off Main Street. But still not a bad idea. Let's see here. Oh, the blend-in bag was Oops's idea. Okay, I got you. Give credit where credit due, 100%. Grumpy Acres says, actually, you need about 10 magnetic stickers with conflicting messages to make your car blend in with the lefties. There you go. Let's see here. We got people, lots of America. Blended bag with Oops idea. Thank you, Stray Kitten. Appreciate you. Not a sponsor. Go to local smoke shop. Get a Bob Marley backpack. Put one of those baggy stripped sweaters and COVID masks in the bag. I know, right? Let's see here. Rose Stoller says, no stickers on my car. Wait a minute. I don't have a car. Bullseye says, Gray Man works. All the more reason for the blend-in bag. It's a great idea. Gray Man works. Okay, we did that. Wear a BLM T-shirt and move along. Suburban Prep. A little bit of chaos camouflage. That's a great idea. Irish coffee, batshit crazy. I know, really. I mean, it's just too early. I got too much stuff to do today, man. That's like I love me an Irish coffee, or believe it or not, my favorite is the Kahlua coffee on a Sunday morning. Kahlua coffee, and just drink like 4 or 5 cups of that, and the day's gonna be great. NEG, don't recognize you. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I was a member of a charity backpack club motorcycle in my younger years. It was surprising to me how people avoided me like the plague when wearing my colors. Oh yeah, they'll always do that because they just don't know. They don't understand it. My first wife's father was the president of a major motorcycle club, one you probably know about in the news. It's very interesting when they do see the colors that changes the game, and it's funny too. It's like when 15 dudes walk into a bar and none of them were wearing the colors, there are rules. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, Annie. You know what I'm talking about. But yes, things change when people know who you are. Or they think they know who you are. That's the real thing right there. Cindy says nondescript vehicle with change of clothes available for blending in gray man mode. There you go. Batshit Crazy says no joke. Look up Rokon. I think we've did this before. I don't remember what that is though. If able body though. Let's see here. Bullseye says it's like only eat vegetables. Then a sticker that says save the trees. We're gonna eat the plants or whatever, you tree huggers. Skane says Frangelica is my favorite. There we go. All right, guys, we're going to try something new today. I want to tell you about something. It's very important, near and dear to my heart, and I will be talking about it relentlessly for this month. So here we go.
About Mother's Day. Okay, now that I have your attention, Refuse Medical, best medical company on the planet, is gearing up for Mother's Day this month. And they have a fantastic giveaway going on. For every order over $299, yes, I know it's a lot of money. Keep listening. For every order over $299, you will be entered to win a Mother's Day basket full of oodles and oodles of stuff that your mama's gonna like. Things like the travel IFAC. Do the math. That could be almost a free order if you think about it. Tallow-based skincare, a sourdough bread kit, possibly a custom leather purse, and tons of other goodies that affiliates have decided to give to them for free, to give to you for free if you order something like your order is at least $299. So don't be a slacker. Get your mama something she is actually going to enjoy for Mother's Day, and sorry about the wind. It's something that might actually save a life. Until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you.
Like a description.
I'm blowing away!
Okay, so hopefully you guys like that. Refuge Medical is having that great giveaway, that gifting that they're going to be doing for Mother's Day. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And like I said, I was doing the math on it, guys. Listen, if the travel FAQ, okay, the travel FAQ is a $299 value, okay, out the door. They're asking you to spend $299 on whatever. So you're literally getting it's almost like a twofer. It's almost like a twofer. So think it over. I don't know the specifics. I just know the list that I've seen when they sent it out. Yeah, it's a freaking awesome deal. Besides, you're going to get all the medical stuff you ever wanted, and mommy is going to get some stuff. So you got an entire month. Don't screw it up. Mother's Day is in May, guys. Mother's Day is in May. All right, let's see here. Neighborhood is walking through, looks like mine. Maybe it is. Let's see here. My mom wants another AR. Well, I don't do deals. I can't do deals with guns on live streams, guys. Let's see here. Stop the next time you're in my hood. Yeah, well, tell me what that is in the Discord, bro. I honestly can't remember. And so yeah, let's see here. Excellent deal. Tim Tuther says nice. All right, so that means it's time to continue. We're now at the crisis point. So the crisis point, oh, excuse me. The crisis point represents the peak of danger in civil unrest. Two primary zones of risk emerge. You have the battle line where the protesters and authorities clash directly, and the inner territory, which is controlled by the demonstrators. Depending on the situation, this lawless expanse where mobs may merge unchecked could prove the most treacherous place to be. Individuals caught here might they might face the wrath of an unhinged crowd, or if hiding, become targets for criminals exploiting the chaos to commit violent acts. Staying calm, informed, and out of harm's way becomes paramount, requiring deliberate strategies to evade detention and survive. Now, we're going to talk about a few little strategies here and something to think about. So, disappearing. Poof, disappearing, okay? To navigate these types of dangers, individuals must focus on disappearing from view. This could mean finding a signature hideout to wait out the unrest, or blending seamlessly into the crowd. A hideout should be discreet, somewhere unlikely to attract attention, allowing you to remain concealed until the situation stabilizes or an escape becomes feasible. I think my hat is tilting something right here. All right. Alternatively, it feels weird now. Now it feels weird. It feels like it's canted the other way. Alternatively, blending into the crowd requires mastering gray man tactics. And this means avoiding distinctive clothing or behaviors that could single out. If the unrest targets as a specific group, you should discard anything linking you to the identity, and if possible, adopt subtle traits of a natural or neutral sympathetic person to deflect scrutiny. Knowing who or what is being targeted, information often gleaned from the crowd's actions helps inform these decisions. Things to think about. I think it's time to go to the poll and take a look there and see what we've got, because the numbers have changed. We have 35 votes. The question is, what's the first thing to do when civil unrest starts? 83% say avoid high-risk areas. 11% say fight back if attacked. 6% say join the protest crowd. and 0% say call the police for help. We do have a few things going on inside the chat here. Something about cooking utensils and vacuum cleaners. You did not get your wife a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. That is not cool. No bueno. My sponsor. Oh, someone's wife is in the chat. My sponsor. He told me I needed to come here and say I actually wanted those gifts. I love my sponsor. Yes, yes. You missed the commercial. You can miss it if your hubby spends at least $299 at Refuge Medical buying kick-ass, top rate, best in the world medical equipment and or training, because they're going to be doing a full stop the bleed course online here shortly, if you guys didn't know that. Hint, 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 hint. And he spends at least $299, they're going to give him a Mother's Day basket full of all sorts of goodies. It could be a leather purse. It could be like some great skincare stuff. It could be a travel fact. It could be a lot. They have a lot of things that are on the list, but I can only say a few of them because I can only remember like 5. But that is what's going to happen. So get him to spend that hard-earned cash on good stuff that turns into good stuff for Mother's Day. Tell him he's got a month. He's got a month. All right, you see how I did that? All right, so Bradley says, okay, I thought on it. What is the going rate for a paid protester? If it's good, I'll buy a wig and make me some picket signs. Actually, right now the going rate's about $1,000, not per day, but per event. And if you get arrested, it's your problem. Now you know that. Let's see here. Vacuum cleaner for Christmas is better than making her sweep the carpet. No one sweeps the carpet, stray kitten. That's just ridiculous. And everybody has a vacuum cleaner. They just get a new one. Let's see here. You got a month. Cha! Hey, don't forget to use my code, guys, because I don't know. Because it'll save you money. Because it'll save you money. I think it's like 15%. There's a link in the description for all the stuff that I like. I really need to put that back here on the screen. But yeah, that's the case. That's the case. Let's see here. Don't sleep on modern air rifles. Why? What? Why? A dustbuster. There you go. So buy myself something and get your gift for free. Sounds good. There you go. We have wood floors, no vacuum. There you go. There you go. All right. So let's get back into it. So each stage of unrest presents unique challenges and recognizes where one stands within the progression. Can kind of guide your life-saving choice. You need to know where you are during these processes, right? So the wisest course is to avoid such areas that are entirely, certain areas entirely. Okay. But for those unexpectedly caught, like in a really bad spot, um, there are some insights that offer a roadmap for safety that we have been talking about. Now, as usual, that's all the educational stuff. Now we start doing the preparedness stuff. We talk about recommendations. We're going to expand on a few things. How do you turn a vacuum into a snowblower? Hand your wife a shovel. Oh, that's a good way. Yeah, you just get it all out now before Mother's Day, okay? Just get it all out now because you're going to pay for it later. You're going to pay for it later. Anywho, so additional recommendations and expansions. So here, we're going to add some recommendations, followed by detailed explanations on each, enhancing the guidance for civil unrest, for surviving civil unrest. Now, I guess the first thing is prepare an emergency kit. We talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. Individuals should keep a small portable kit with essentials like water, food, first aid supplies, a flashlight, a backup phone charger, and don't forget the 3 pillars of preparedness of water, food, and security. They kind of apply to everything. You also want to develop situational awareness. Now, people should train themselves to notice subtle shifts in their environments, such as changes in crowd behavior or increased police presence. And you also want to, and we hit on this briefly, establish communications plans. You should set up reliable ways to contact family or friends, including predetermined check-in times and locations. Hey, honey, I'm going into town. There's supposed to be a protest. If something goes wrong and I don't call you by such and such a time, or I'm not home by such and such a time, get on that Live 360 and figure out where the hell I am. Call the cops. Something. Do something. Let's have a plan. Okay. And of course, learn basic self-defense. Basic self-defense is not about pew pew, bang bang, choo choo, freedom seeds. That's not what it's about, okay? That's advanced defense techniques, okay? That's like you're going to be like liberating people of their lives. All right? Self-defense, basically you should be able to handle yourself without a firearm, okay? Now, learn basic self-defense. Individuals should acquire fundamental skills to protect themselves if escape or avoidance fails. We don't know how many videos that we've seen over the years. This year hadn't been that bad, but back when, oh, watch the McDonald's burn, everything's fine here, nothing to see, right? There were a lot of instances where people were like surrounded and by a handful of people yelling and screaming. They try to leave. Next thing you know, somebody puts their hands on them. They fight back. They win or they lose, but they fought back. And if they lost, it was primarily not because they were overwhelmed, but because the people who were putting their hands on them had the advantage. You need to have the advantage. Okay. You need to have the advantage with knowledge, skills, and practice. Okay. Somebody touches you, then you need to know how to defend yourself. It's that easy. That falls into the next thing, which is staying physically fit. Now, I know this is difficult for some people. I understand it. Okay. I don't have enough time. Well, if you got enough time to breathe through you'll be a mouth breather for 11 hours a night. You got enough time to walk around the block for an hour. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'll say on that. Stay physically fit. Maintain good health and stamina can improve one's ability to flee or endure prolonged stress during unrest. It's that easy. It's that easy. Now, you're also going to want to prepare an emergency kit. Kind of having a ready to go emergency kit can make a significant difference when civil unrest erupts. This kit should be lightweight and easy to carry, containing essentials like a bottle of water to stay hydrated, non-perishable snacks, such as granola bars or energy bars, and a basic first aid kit with bandages, antiseptics, and pain relievers to treat minor injuries. Basically you get all scratched up, you break your knuckles on somebody's skull, little fisticuff type of stuff, hitting the concrete, that kind of stuff, those type of injuries. That's what your kit should be focused on. Maybe have a flashlight with extra batteries. It kind of ensures visibility if the power fails, or basically day turns into night very rapidly. You didn't know this. You're just getting off of work, and next thing you know, you find yourself running for your life, and it's just gone from day to night. Flashlight could help you. All right. Um, and while a portable phone charger is not that bad, you were kind of talking about like being hunkered down someplace. Maybe you're hiding because the crowd is just overwhelming. There's no way to escape. So you might want to have that actual phone charger on you. And some people have talked about solar power, but whatever. We're kind of reaching at that point, right? The bottom line is that you want to keep communication lines open when outlets are inaccessible. Now, people should also store this kit in a backpack or small bag, keeping it in an easy reachable spot like a car's trunk or near their home's exit. Regularly checking and updating the contents ensures readiness when chaos strikes unexpectedly. It's really that easy. It's really that easy. All right, I'm going to go to the chat here real quick and see what we're chatting about here. Walter Williams showed up. Walter Williams for are you late for a reason, Mr. Williams? Let's see here. Air powered projectile, i.e., quiet and practical. I like it. Let's see here. Cuck V says the late Walter E. Williams would get his wife gifts to help her do chores around the house. Example: one year he got her golf shoes so she could wash his car in the winter and not slip on the ice. That is just mean. That's just mean. Bullseye says, in the Navy, I used to teach female self-defense classes. There you go. Cindy says, I use the leaf blower for light snow myself. It's not a bad idea. Mrs. Sponsor says, the kids are getting him reloading. You're probably not supposed to be saying that out loud, lady. I'm not repeating that. Let's see here. I just posted a flashlight vid on Discord. There you go. Cool, cool. If you guys didn't know this, Vegan Cookies, there's a lot of people that are in here that have their own YouTube channels. Vegan Cookie kind of specializes in like little handy pieces of gear. I really like it. I really like it. Um, Not a sponsor says our kids are getting new backpacks with a level 3H soft armor. There you go. There you go. Daddy, why is my backpack heavier than everybody else's? That's not the question you should be asking, young lady. You should be asking why all of your friends are not alive anymore and you are. Yeah, that's what it is. Let's see here. He got spiked. Let's see here. Not a sponsor. Want to get my kids the soft armor backpacks. I did have AR 500 plates, but them too heavy for them. Yeah, exactly. Right. when you- when your son turns like 13, say it's time to move into manhood, son, and throw a fucking throw a 500 plate in there. Let's see here. Prepping gifts and other useful gifts are great, like socks, underwear, and PJs at Christmas. Men and boys don't like those things. Anywho, those are just useful items. They throw them in a drawer. They wear them day to day. They say thank you from time to time. They don't really like them. All right, let's see here. Questions, 34 votes. The polls have not changed. The polls have not, the polls have not changed. The polls have not changed. Why is everybody like, that's the new thing? Is that the new thing? Everybody's telling us when they're gonna like, I gotta go poop. I'll be right back. I mean, are we that good of friends now that you're like advertising that you're probably on your phone? You're probably on your phone. So like, why are you saying this? You're taking your phone with you. Let's see here. Not a sponsor says, uh-oh, quarter for the swear jar. Dude, I would be so rich. Uh, Rush was the man. He's the king. Rush is the king. It's a shame he's gone. It is what it is. All right, so we've got to get on because we are starting to run out of time and I have more content. Finish this class. Educational channel. Anyway, so the next thing is you need to develop situational awareness. Even if you have it, redevelop it, make more of it. Situational awareness involves actively observing one's surroundings to detect early signs of trouble. Individuals should practice scanning crowds for sudden shifts like growing agitation or the arrival of agitators via bus and listen for cues such as raising noise levels or approaching sirens. Noticing an uptick in police activity, such as roadblocks or helicopter patrols, can signal escalating tensions. They should also identify potential hazards like narrow streets that could trap them and mentally map escape routes in advance. This skill requires regular practice in everyday life. Paying attention to exits in buildings or crowd dynamics at events. So it becomes second nature during a crisis, enabling quicker, safer decisions. All right, so then let's go ahead and talk about establishing communication plans. Now, reliable communication can be, it can be a lifeline during unrest. Individuals should agree with loved ones on specific check-in times, such as every few hours, and designate a safe meeting point if separated, like a nearby park or a friend's house outside of the affected area. They should share these plans in advance and consider backup methods like a prepaid burner phone in case primary devices fail or networks jam. Text messages often work when calls don't. So they should prioritize short intakes or updates like I'm safe heading to X. Testing these plans periodically ensures everyone knows what to do, reducing panic and confusion when time is critical. I can't emphasize enough that you should be communicating with your family regardless, but having a communications plan is still super duper awesome. People watching, practice. People watching practice. People watching practice. People watching. Saying that over and over. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky. All right, let's see here. Be like a psych and observe the number of hats in the room. Don't stare at your phone while in public places. Look around, see what people are. Yeah, exactly. I hate people. The head down syndrome, it's mind blowing. All right, so we talked about that, and then let's go ahead and expand on self defense. And while avoidance is ideal, knowing basic self defense can provide a last resort option for you. Individuals should learn simple techniques such as how to break free from a grip or use everyday obstacles like keys for protection. Community classes or, online tutorials can teach these skills, focusing on non lethal methods to create space for escape rather than confrontation. You should practice regularly to build muscle memory, ensuring you can react instinctively under stress. This knowledge boosts confidence, but you must see it only when, you must use it only when cornered, as engaging aggressors risks escalating the situation further. Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. Okay? We no use for attack. We only use for defense. It's the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it. Besides, you're probably going to go to jail if you attack the crowd. You're like, and you decide you're going to try and beat up a couple of people because you're not happy with what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? It kind of defeats the purpose. All right, so let's go ahead and harp on a little bit about physical fitness. Can't talk about pasta on YouTube. Oh my God. Anyway, staying physically fit. Physical fitness can be a survival edge during unrest. Individuals should maintain a baseline of endurance and strength through activities like running, walking, or even just body weight exercises, enabling them to flee quickly or navigate obstacles like debris strewn streets. Having stamina will help you endure long periods of hiding or walking to safety if your transportation fails. Flexibility and balance. It's improved through stretching or yoga. It reduces risks during chaotic scrambles. You should aim for a constant routine, maybe 30 minutes every other day, tailored to your abilities, and ensure that you're not caught off guard by the physical demands of the crisis. Interesting stuff, guys. Interesting stuff. All right, so looks like we hit that 1 hour mark almost perfectly. I'm going to go to the chat and let's. Now is the time. Now is the time to go to the polls if you have not done that yet. And obviously, right now the question is, what is the first thing to do when civil unrest starts? 84% say avoid high risk areas. That's smart. 11% say fight back if attacked. I agree. And 5% say join the protest crowd. Yeah. And 0% say call the police for help. Never call the police for help. No, I don't know. I don't even know when you. I mean, you're getting your ass beat, and you're going, "Oh, police, help!" They might actually break through the lines and get you. So that's not an implausible. It's not implausible. It's not implausible. All right, I'm going to look at the chat here one more time. Let's see here. Wow, really, oops, I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Sponsor somehow knows everyone. There you go. Well, it's because he's a friendly guy. He's a friendly guy. He's my friend. He's my friend. He's in the group. He's one of us. Yeah, everybody knows what that means. Let's see here. That is a hell of a hat. Royal 2IC, good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you like forever. They made me the great. I've been crowned the grand poobah of preparedness. I don't know if I like it or not. The hat really does. It's not comfortable. This is not comfortable. This is not a crown of anything. This is like aluminum foil is it's cutting into the side of my head right now, and it's very, very warm. This Chinese plastic on my skull is very, very warm. The Longhorn helmet. Let's see here. Between him and his best friend, they literally don't know a stranger. That's great. That's great. Let's see here. Like the psych episode where he taught him how to get out of the trunk of a car. Has a not a sponsor done that one too? Our kids know how to get out of being tied up and fight dirty. I like it, man. The only fair fight is the fight you lost. Let's see here. The Redneck Prepper. Good to see you, bro. Man, you showing up at the it's like the live stream is almost over. Vote in the chat real quick, or vote in the poll, man. But basically we're kind of done. I'm doing the follow up on the follow up of the follow up for the chat. I'm here at 10 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. You need some speed holes in your helmet. What's a speed hole? Is it just like is it is it like for air? Is that what it is? Speed holes. All right, guys, that's going to be about it for today. It is Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll be working on a few videos. Obviously, I'll be making the Berna launcher video this weekend. I'll be making it tomorrow. But I've got a couple others that are lined up. I've been doing some book reviews, not a joke, of some of basically the 7 best books. That should drop today, probably around 3 o'clock today. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy that. All right, guys, that's going to be about it. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me once again. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you when I see you, which should be in the next video. Bye-bye.